jam-packed with information, and I hope I will also be able to answer some of the questions that you have as well. I believe that all of you are here tonight because you all have an agenda. You have an agenda. You have to have an agenda. You want more exposure. You want people to know what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and you want to be able to maybe earn residual income. You may want just to have a whole mass of people just tuning in to find out what you do. That's where Blog Talk Radio comes in. Now, for those of you who do not know, Blog Talk Radio started back in 2006, in August of 2006. A man by the name of Alan Levy, whose father was dying at the time, with his technical genius, decided to create a way that he could stay in touch with his family in other parts of the country. And therefore, Blog Talk Radio was created. It's very interesting, very fascinating. Now, for those, how many of you have blogs? Okay. You need one. You need one. Okay. And you definitely need one for what you do and your musical. Oh, yeah, you definitely need one. Well, as you know, blogs are a way to express your thoughts, your expertise, whatever it is that you want to do. And so you use these blogs and you hope that people will in turn come and read them, and even more so you hope that they will give you some feedback. Blog Talk Radio's concept is the same. You present your program and you hope that people are going to come in and engage with you on whatever your thoughts are, whatever you're discussing about whatever topic it is. It is the same exact concept. Now here's the thing about Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio has opened up the door for literally millions of voices to be heard on millions of topics. Maybe not millions of topics, but hundreds of thousands of topics. Because we as people are starving for information. We want to know how to get it, where we can get it, how soon we can get it, how can you cure me, how can you make me feel better, how can you heighten my awareness, how can you do all of these things. And that's right. And we also want to know about the latest music. So Blog Talk Radio has allowed those people who are starving for information to be fed. To be fed as much as they want, as often as they want, to just become a glutton because there's so much information out there. So, as someone who is looking for media exposure, now you're probably saying, well, okay, Beverly, you're telling me there's millions of people out here, there's millions of programs, and how am I going to be found when there's millions of folks and probably thousands of people who are doing exactly what you're doing? So how am I going to be able to feel my way through that? Well, there's a strategy to that, and I'll be teaching more about that in the course. But let me just say this. The easy part of Blog Talk Radio is all you need is a telephone and a computer. That's really all you need to get set up. And can we get the computer on? The challenging part of Blog Talk Radio is making sure you maneuver your way through the sea of folks out there to make sure that your voice is heard. So how do we do that? And we're going to get this here in a moment, and I'm going to go to Blog Talk Radio. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now, oh yeah, here it is. Okay, very good. Well, actually, that's Give Me the Night.
You want to take this way?
Yes, please. Okay, here we go. Blog Talk Radio. And this is actually my page. And if I just go, yeah, this is my page. So you'll go into Blog Talk Radio, and I'll sign out so you can kind of see where we're going here with this. Log out. Okay. The first thing when you do, you log on to blogtalkradio.com, and then what's going to happen is, if you don't, how many of you actually have are registered on Blog Talk Radio right now? Okay. Okay, very good. So you'll go in and you'll register as a listener, or you'll register to actually do a show, and it navigates you to actually doing that, so you can create my talk show. There you go. So you'd click that on, and then you'd go in, and then you'd put all your information in, and then you'd get this nice little email back saying, we've got your information. Now you have to verify that you are who you say you are with this link, and then voila, you will be set up. The unique thing, and maybe not so unique thing about Blog Talk Radio, is that Blog Talk Radio is just like Facebook. It's just like LinkedIn. Not quite like Twitter, but it's like MySpace. It's a community. It's a community where people are interacting, people are trying to position themselves, people are trying to connect with each other, people are trying to collaborate so that they can elevate themselves to a position where they will get more exposure. Now, if Bill and I, for example, Bill and I are on Blog Talk Radio, I'm going to go scope out Bill's page because I know what Bill does. And I'm going to look at his little listener base here, which let's see if I can go back to my page and show you how this is kind of done here. And I'll see on Bill's listener page, he's got all these people that just listened. Ooh, okay. So now I'm looking at his listener page, and I need to demonstrate this so that you can exactly see what I'm talking about. I don't know how. Okay, let's see.
We're going to just know how to log in now. What's your password?
And I've done this, so I know it works. All right, so here's my page, and I'm just going to demonstrate with my own page so that you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, there's some, I'll go over that. Okay, let's see. 23,274 people have listened to one of my shows.
Wow.
I, on the other hand, have only listened to 474. That's not good. I'm telling you now, that is not good. Because that says I am really not engaged in the community. And so what I do occasionally is I go to see how often this number changes in a week. To see, but I know that the number is dwindling down now, because when people come to your page, they're looking to see not only who's listening to you, but who are you listening to? And if you're not listening to anybody, then why do they want to be engaged with you? So, like I said, this is a community where you have to be somewhat engaging. Now, I'm not saying you have to listen to a show every day. You don't have to do that. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to listen to a whole show. You can listen to 5 or 10 minutes of a show. You still will pop up as having listened to their show, and they will appreciate that. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about with the listeners, so that you can see this. It's a trick I use, and
you got some messages there that you haven't read.
Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. appreciate that.
We're among friends. I have
Okay.
more, I'm sure, that are unread.
All right, let's go back here.
You get a certain calling number?
Yes, everybody gets a call-in number. Yes,
So Beverly,
yes, ma'am.
we have so many other, ways of communicating in this same, as far as, like you said, we want to treat it like Facebook and have relationships, so it sounds like that the common denominators are the same. So what is it about BlogTalk that distinguishes it from the other ones, so we know which one to pick? Because we can't do them all, we gotta pick our favorites or pick the ones that get us to our audience.
Okay, that's a very good question. Blog Talk Radio, unlike Facebook, even though Facebook does have I guess a shelf life of, a first page, Blog Talk Radio has a shelf life of forever. So when you put out something on Blog Talk Radio, a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, someone may be perusing through, put in some keywords, abundance, the secret, whatever they put in, and voila, you pop up. And they go in, they listen, and that could create new business. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, are there people who take on certain personas? Is there a forum? Do you just talk about anything, or do you pick out something that is of interest to you?
Well, here's the thing about Blog Talk Radio, as I said it before, is that because it's given voice to millions of people, there is all kinds of stuff out there. There are people who just want to be celebritized. They just want you to know that they're out there, and they just want to talk about the topic of the day. But then there are people out there who have a real agenda. They have a business that they are out there that they are trying to promote. They are trying to get people to know that they're out there.
Okay.
So that's the difference between people who are just out there to be celebrities and people who really have a purpose.
So it's just a matter of talking all the time. If you get on there and you're interested, but then you said you put in a keyword.
Well, if as a listener,
as
as a listener, if you're out there looking for some specific shows,
Right.
but if you're actually wanting to create a show, that's a different breed
Gotcha.
altogether.
Gotcha.
And Blog Talk Radio does in fact have its own forum where people go in and they talk and they communicate. Twitter has a hashtag that's of Blog Talk Radio. So when you go out and you promote your show on Twitter, that hashtag shows up, and believe it or not, there are people that go into those hashtags and they just look for shows that they might be interested in. So there are lots of opportunities to be discovered, but I don't want to talk about that
Okay.
just yet until we get
Okay, no, thank you.
to the listener base. And I don't know, maybe, you know what, go ahead. Somebody else have a question?
So if you're a content person like I am, so you could use SlideShare, right? And you would have your content up there.